The work that I do as a counselor at iAmClinic is born out of a personal story. I grew up in a loving, conservative Christian home, and although my parents and family loved me dearly, the world I lived in taught me a lot of pain. I was unaware of what people could see in me. I walked around with what seemed to be an invisible sticker on my forehead. Needless to say, it did not take long to realize that the word abomination was written on that sticker. When I was 5, my uncle called me a maricón, which means faggot in Spanish. Although most of my family and friends never spoke words like this, I gathered from their faces that I was broken, dirty, and that I should be ashamed of myself. At school, I was teased with names like homo and queer, and even beaten up. At church, I heard that people like me were dirty sinners. And as a reaction to that environment, I hid who I was. Out of shame and desperation, I fasted 2 meals every day as a senior in high school. It was a way to beg God to make me clean. From ages 9 to 25, I prayed daily, asking God to take away my attractions for men. That, after all, was the source of my ridicule and filth. You see, the unrelenting church made it clear that I was not clean enough. Men taught me that I was not tough enough, and my family subtly showed me that I was not good enough. I was drowning in waters of non-acceptance, and I just wanted to be safe. It was like having a collection of buckets labeled acceptance, valuable, protection, and affirmation. I would put these buckets out for my family, friends, and church. In seeing their unwillingness to fill them up, I felt ultimately rejected. My heart said, I put them out there for you once, and you wouldn't. I asked you a second time, and you didn't. I put them out one last time, and you wouldn't. And now I'm done. Never again will you be able to reject my heart. I built a guard to protect myself and my wounded identity. So in order to feel things like valuable, fun, and acceptance, I began drinking. I would wake up in places I had never seen before, and even found myself arrested and kicked out of college. I was a borderline alcoholic. I was drinking till I blacked out several times a week and was sleeping with both men and women. I was hooking up with men from the internet and sending illicit pictures of myself to be affirmed, to feel valued. Essentially, I was grasping for the first thing that would make me feel like I was loved, valuable, safe, and simply put, good enough. I was out and I was lonely. I was out and my boyfriend was a target of my anger and self-hatred. I was out and cheating, scanning for that one person who I thought could truly see me. I was out and hiding. I became familiar with depression and hit an ultimate desperation. I needed help. I met a Christian therapist who taught me I was hurting myself. He showed me that I am inherently valuable, just the way I am, to God and myself. I learned that I didn't need to grasp for the first thing that felt like acceptance, but how to respect myself, giving my heart what I truly craved. Things like healthy emotional intimacy, sustainable sources of love, and unconditional acceptance. He described for me the beauties and complexities of gender identity, and I began to know I am a beautiful version of manhood. He taught me the value of authenticity, to be honest with others and myself. Mostly I learned that God loves me just the way I am. Parents, as a clinician, I know that dealing with a gay-identifying son or daughter is challenging. Their decision seems so out of character, and the fast pace of the coming out can leave you confused, hurt, and spinning in extreme feelings of loss. I also know that as parents, it is easy to focus on the appearance of your child's actions. Mom, Dad, look beyond their behavior. Underneath their declarations, below their confusing silence and dogmatic choices, is a heart desperate to have you fill up their deep emotional reservoirs. Devote your energy to understanding your child's experiences, their heart, and the ways that they may be feeling valueless, empty, lost, and abandoned. Your child needs you. Whether you call yourself gay, bisexual, straight, or trans, no matter if you are married and hide your attractions for the same gender or are married and out, gay, Christian, or celibate, don't forget that there is hope to live in freedom. Don't settle for someone else's definition of what is authentic for your personhood. Just because you fit a list of stereotypes or one identity label feels better than another, it doesn't mean that you should sit in unhealthy patterns or use a weak version of happiness. It doesn't mean that you should stay in non-functional relationships or that you should trap yourself in discomfort because the fear of change is too scary. Fight for the I am. The I am that stems from a beautiful array of rootedness, pushing forth your authentic expression of love, sacredness, and solidarity. I am Isaac. I am bisexual. I am a Christian. I am loved. I am free.